Hello, everybody. So, it might say Vintage Cube there. Just me today. Hello. Um, it might say Vintage Cube there, and you might be thinking, like, you're not actually, if you see the title, you're not thinking that at all. But you might at least be intrigued by the title. The Vintage Cube is back. This is the cube that has. Basically, it's the Power Cube. It's the one I enjoy the most playing on MTGO. It's back. But that's not what we're here for today. Oh no, oh no. We are here to go all the way back to the year 2013. It is the month February, and the new set is Gatecrash. I'm really excited to do some Gatecrash drafting. I'm Gatecrash doesn't have the greatest, like, looking back at it, and talking with a lot of players of the game, you'll probably hear commonly that Gatecrash wasn't a super great limited format compared to other limited formats. I have a bit of a love for it because this is where I started doing streaming. There's some super old ones that look like they were streamed on, like, I don't know, like maybe a couple lemons with a wire between them, things like that. But we're here to do a Gatecrash draft in the future, in the current Great Crash. Yeah, so hello to everybody. Burnhead, Abanist, Vpriz, Tactful Ogre. It's good to see you all here. I hope you're here to enjoy some Gatecrash. So Gatecrash is the second set in the Return to Ravnica block from 2012, 2013. Return to Rav and Gatecrash between them have all 10 of the guilds shown. Are any cards in the set bugged? Yes, there are. I'll get to those. There are 3 cards not in the collation of cards due to bugs. 2 of them that matter, and 2 of them that don't matter, and 1 of them that does. Anyway, so this set contains the Boros Guild. So it's Boros, Orzhov, Dimir, Simic, and Gruul. Those are the 5 guilds represented within this. I have a love for, as far as limited goes, the secret to winning, you just have to pick no fixing. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I enjoy playing Orzhov a lot. I enjoy playing Simic a lot, and I enjoy playing Gruul a lot. However, common, like, if you look at what other people say a lot of in this set, you'll hear a lot that the aggressive plans kind of beat out the long game plans in this format. We'll see how true that plays out. I'm still willing to just, play with the tides. Yes, so there are 3 cards that are no longer in the collation because, as this is Magic Online, there have to be bugged cards. 2 of them don't matter. One of them is Realm Right, which is a 1-mana 1/1 that you could turn your lands into any land type. It was alright, but it was a 1-mana 1/1 at rare. The second one, I also remember not mattering or not being a card. Structural weakness, structural degradation, structural demolishing. It was like target player sacrifices a land and artifact and then takes 2. But Ooze Flux is the biggest one I am sad we lose here in the draft format. Ooze Flux was a 4-mana rare with a 2-mana activation. Somebody can correct me on that if I'm wrong. It was green. Structural Collapse, that was it. Nobody played that card. But 2 and a green, 1 green activation. Remove any number of +1/+1 counters from any number of creatures you control to make a XX Ooze, where X is the number of tokens you removed. This is basically used for triggering all your Evolve over again. So, Magic Player 2984234. Wonder if that's just their DCI number. Alright, so what do we get to start? Do we get, like, a Primordial to start this off with? No, we get Boros Reckoner. Hell yes, that was the other card I was going to mention. Whoo, Boros Reckoner. This is one of the all-star constructed cards from this set. Boros Reckoner, a 3-mana 3/3 that has a deflection. Any damage it takes can be bounced back any direction. It can also gain first strike on its hybrid. This is perfect as far as the card goes. It's almost like it was one of the best cards from this set in Constructed, and is also one of the best cards in Limited. However, this pack has a lot of very good things for us. Holy Mantle is an all-star. This is a Yeah, this Minotaur wizard here was in standard a standard all-star for a long time. Holy Mantle just says +2/+2 and pro creatures, which is unblockable. Incredible on vigilance creatures, incredible on anything. I love Cloudfin Raptor. I wish we could go with the Cloudfin Raptor. We got Fibblethip here. Anyway, but the Reckoner is the 100% all-star, yes, we must do this sort of thing. So let's see how this plays out. It could be a Boros card, it could be a Gruul card, it could be an Orzhov card. However, in here, it's looking to be a bit more towards the red side, because in here we have Cinder Elemental, a Fireball with legs. We have Mugging, which is a pretty good, both shocks, just get something out of the way, and also it makes it so it can't block, so if it's something bigger, you just go ahead and get it out of the way. Warmind Infantry is one of the better aggressive commons, being a 4/3 if you're attacking with 2 other creatures, Battalion being the Boros keyword. Other cards of note in here include the Croconura, the good old crocodile frog with Evolve. Evolve, if you don't remember, is if you play a creature with bigger power or toughness than the creature, this creature gets a +1/+1 counter. Ground Assault's pretty good. Dinrova Horror has a recoil attached to it. I love this card. I'm between the Cinder Elemental and the Mugging. Those are my two options here. Cinder Elemental is a finisher, and Mugging is like an aggressive piece of I want to push through. That's a hard choice, really. I'm not really sure which is the best, but I'm going to go with Fireball with legs. Boros Kirun, you say, or Wojek Halberdiers. Whew, Wojek Halberdiers, you say. This is a 2-mana 3/2 that gains first strike on attacking with 2 other creatures, which is incredible. That might be the place to be. If we want to go Boros, which we definitely could. Prophetic Prism, you might know this card from the current limited format. This has shown up a lot of times. The Boros Kirun is a 1/1 double striker, so I'm not really huge on picking it. It's cheap to activate, but the Halberdiers beats it out by a lot. Massive Raid is actually pretty decent if you're in a pretty aggressive strategy. As long as it's doing 2 or 3 damage, you're doing fine, but sometimes you can get, beat out by it. So, we're definitely going with the Halberdier. And we're going to try and have the Boros game plan, which is a good place to be. Bomber Core, not the greatest, but Court Street Denizen might be. So Bomber Core is okay. This is an okay 2-drop. Don't let me hate on it too much. Yeah, sorry, Gnome. There was a Cloudfin Raptor with it, but it's Boros Reckoner. Come on. Court Street Denizen is pretty good at being a aggressive creature. We can play this, and it lets us just go ahead and push through damage. Bomber Core pushes through as well. Court Street, though, I think is the pick here because of just how powerful this can be for, pushing through damage. What else in here? Shadow Slice is funny. I've seen that card do some funny work. You can just win games with it. Zaurichi Tiger is one of the worst cards in the set. I don't know, there's some neat stuff in here. Miming Slime. I should have talked more about Miming Slime. Ooh, hey! Drakewind Krasis. Drakewind Krasis is a super good Simic card, which we're seeing a lot of in here. We're seeing a pretty good Simic. Flux Mage isn't the best as far as evolve creatures go, but this is one of the best evolve triggers. Untapped target gate. This is good acceleration, good enough acceleration, though it's not super dependable. Hands of Binding is probably the best card outside of the Drakewind Krasis in here. So we can go ahead and pick up a Court Street Denizen, or we can pick up a Skinbrand Goblin. But this card gets really dumb in multiples, as it's already kind of been mentioning. No, but if you want to join me for Draft 2, let me know. How's Martial Glory as a combat trick? Pretty good. I'm surprised it's in here if the other trick doesn't function. Because it has this double targeting that's not very good. Wow, the green in here is still very good. So the green and red in here is actually quite, good. Wasteland Viper is a Blood Rush card I love. Handing off Death Touch is really good, especially, first strike. Ember Beast is also pretty good, with the ability to kind of keep it around, the ability to, if you have, an aggressive deck and this is just a 3/4 in it. I'm a little interested in having, a curve here, and also this gives us a combat trick. It's between these two, for certain. Ember Beast gives us another 3-drop, which starts to get a little hefty there. I don't know how I feel on that. It's certainly a good card, though. I'm gonna go with the Goblin. I'm feeling the Goblin. I'm feeling the trick. This might be a Martial Glory pick here. Yep, this is looking like Martial Glory. Not the greatest. Armored Transport's not bad either. It's good for keeping your battalion going. Yeah, let me sort this a little better, the CMC. Like, I don't want to overload on 3s. That was the reason that I picked the Skin and Goblin. So Martial Glory is okay as a combat trick. This is a giant growth that you can split, basically. It's the pick here. I do like the Armored Transport, though. It's okay. It's not like... It just can't be damaged while it's attacking. The Marital Glory. Gruul Key Rune. This is a pretty good one. No, I'm gonna stick with Boros. Let's stick with the Boros. We'll be here all day. Ooh, Scorchwalker. Oh, I can take that, and I can pick that. There's also Rust Scarab here. The green is real. Like, so I think it's between Scorchwalker and Bombercore. Bombercore, again, this is a Squire. Like, it has a ping ability, which is nice, but I think I want 2s so that I can trigger off the Wojak Halberdiers. This one's not very good, though. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have any trample for me to take a lot of use of. Let's take the Armored Transport here. We don't have a lot of trample to make use of the... Where is it? The Blood Rush ability on that. But we'll... Anyway, I'm taking Armored Transport here. The Adaptive Snapjaw is pretty good. Between Magma Rager and a Bomber. You're right. Totally lost. But yeah, Armored Transport I'm happy to have. Ooh, Warmind Infantry. This is actually a pretty dang good pickup. As our Lake Metropolis Sprite and Riot Gear are just fine too. Not as happy on the Horror of the Dim. That's fine to go away. Trust me, I know there's not a lot of trample in here. There's a lot of weird, like... There's some... The sources of trample are quite good. Anyway, Warmind Infantry is incredible. That's 4 power. We should be able to make use of it. The Boros Key Rune I'm going to pick. Like, I'm not very happy with it. I don't like Righteous Charge because this card's a dang sorcery. I'll be honest. That's literally the reason I don't like this card. It's not unplayable, though. Like, maybe it's better than the Boros Key Rune, like, total. But the Boros Key Rune gives us, like, both a little bit of fixing, but more importantly, a hidden creature. So, we're going to go with the Key Rune. Currently feel like we're over-shifted for, wow, I could pick Naturalize and then Naturalize again. Glaring Spotlight, a bad card. Yeah, we do have ways to pump Boros Key Rune with Martial Glory and Skinbrand Goblin, so the Double Strike could be relevant. Let's see how Boros shapes up in Pack 2, though. We want to see, as far as 3s go, we still don't have any... Oh, boy. And a Wojak Halberdier again, but oh, boy. How you doing, Kaz? This one's for you. Versus a Wojak Halberdier. Halberdier is a very powerful card, obviously, but Assemble the Legion is... Every turn you get a 1/1, and then you get a 2/2, and then you get then you get 2 1/1s, then you get 3 1/1s, and they all have haste. There's a guild get here. There's Larry the Dutiful Thrall, our good buddy Larry. I'm happy to see Larry the Dutiful Thrall hanging out. Other cards of note. Towering Thunderfist is just fine, but Slaughterhorn's fine. Slaughterhorn's actually quite good. Syndicate Ties, as I was mentioning, would be a really good thing. Oh, God. Yeah, not to mention Assemble the Legion with the Court Street Denizens gets super good. So this is like our top-end finisher. Oh, we got Viscopa Guildmage, Syndic of Ties, which I think is the pick, just having a good 2. So Viscopa Guildmage gives lifelink and the doubler on the lifelink. You could play some Tower Defense if you want to play Tower Defense. I don't know why you'd want to play Tower Defense if you were opening a pack of Magic, but if you wanted to go play Tower Defense, there's a couple I could recommend to you. Like, I don't know, I always liked playing Squadron TD or Elements TD and, like, the StarCraft mods. There's Sanctum. Sanctum was a pretty fun Tower Defense game. You know, there was, you know, like there were what other good tower defense games were there? I'm sure there's some pretty good mobile tower defenses you could play. Anyone have your recommend your best tower defense games? It's not this card, by the way. This card's really bad. But yeah, Syndicate Ties beats out most other cards in this pack. Night Watch is a pretty good card, though, if we wanted it. Warcraft 3, yeah. Ooh, okay. Check out these cards. So Sky Knight Legionnaire, which is like the art with like the yo look at my crotch, which is I hate it. I hate this art compared to the other one. Daring Skyjack, which is super good. This card is absolutely amazing because it's a 3/1 that can fly. Guardian of the Gateless, which is, you know, this is a fine flyer. And then Herber's Protector, which is like this had a fake reprint in Avacyn Restored. I want this Skyjack. Oh, I'm sorry. Then an Ember Beast and like Frilled Oculus is still here. Thespian Stage, strong card for some combo decks that use Dark Depths. But this is one of the best 3-drops we could possibly have with Evasion, with Evasion and Haste. Yeah, Guardian isn't for us. It's Daring Skyjack is the one I want. What are we looking at here? We're looking at, the Mind-Eye Drake and the Undercity Informer. This has a good legacy deck, the Breakfast Burrito. Basilica Guards. I could pick up Aerial Maneuver. I could pick up another Martial Glory. This one's a little less, This one's a little less here. Like there's not a ton of cards in here I'm super happy about. Like Aerial Maneuver is basically first strike in as far as like a card. I think it's between the tricks, and I think Martial Glory is stronger than Aerial Maneuver. Basically, whenever I see Aerial Maneuver, I kind of wish it was Swift Justice. Swift Justice being my favorite combat trick from this block. If you don't remember Swift Justice, Swift Justice was a card that was 1 mana white trick from Return to Rav. We're going to pick Martial Glory here. Ooh, Foundry Street Denizen, Prophetic Prism. It looks like Boros is a little bit cut at the moment. Foundry Street Denizen's not bad. This is a 1-drop I'm happy to play. Works well with the Assemble the Legion. I don't feel too bad playing this, is I guess the reason I'm probably going to pick it. Incursion Specialist. Just some wizard who hangs out in a shop, and you have to cast 2 spells before he'll do anything, but he's really good. Frilled Oculus is a known good card for the Simic deck. This is strong stuff. Prophetic Prism, we know. Ruination Worm is pretty good. But no, we're picking Foundry Street Denizen here, as on 2, we want to be playing a creature rather than a Prophetic Prism. Oh, wow, we got the Menace, we got another Foundry Street Denizen, and we got an Ember Beast. I wonder how good this gets if we keep picking these up. Isn't 3-color the norm in this format? I think you're thinking of Dragon's Maze. Usually not an aggressive deck. I don't want to be 3-color aggression, because that means you just stumble over your mana base and die. But yeah, we got Rip Scale Predator, which has Menace. Errata to have Menace. It's also a pretty good big body. We don't think we need those, though. I think it's between these two. Ember Beast, do we want more 3s? I'm gonna go with the Foundry Street Denizen. Target blocking creature. That's not us at all. I don't know. I feel like we're only halfway through the draft. I feel like we're going to continue getting more 3s, and there's still more that I would want to play over the Ember Beast. And like right now, there's none of these cards that I would, other than like the Armored Transport, that I would cut over the Ember Beast. Balustrade Spy, strong card for black. Flying in a mill effect. Psychic Strike, pretty good counterspell. I think Riot Gear is the pick here, because I don't see us using Furious Resistance very often. Like, Riot Gear is something like we could possibly play. I hate this card. I don't think it's very good. I don't think this is very good either, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Riot Gear, which is the one that could possibly make the cut. I could pick up... Ooh. Skyblinder's Staff. The equip cost on this is a little high. I don't like Beck and Apparition very much. Towering Thunderfist is also just playable. I could just pick up this. Or like an Ozov Guildgate, but like, what am I splashing for? I don't see us needing a gate or wanting a gate, to be honest. I guess this is going to be Righteous Charge. I don't really care. Larry, sorry, this isn't your deck. You're not really going to be making it here. I'm going to pick the Righteous Charge, which I guess I feel a little better having because Assemble the Legion. Like, we might have a team to pump with it, so this might be a card we could play. Might not. I want our deck to be pretty creature-heavy so that I can work with Warmind Infantry, Wojak Halberdiers, and Bomber Corps. I'd also like a couple more 2s. Night Watch, good to have on the wheel. I talked about this card a little bit on the last time. This isn't really great. It's like a 4/4 Vigilance split across 2 cards for 5, but it's 2 triggers of Court Street Denizen. If I had picked the gate, I could have regenerated Larry, but I wouldn't have picked Larry anyway in that instance. I'm not... I don't feel bad at all about that. In this point, I am going to just steal a Dimir Guildgate because it is the clearly most playable of these cards. Aerial Maneuver makes it back around. Yeah, Spell, Rupture, and Leyline Phantom. Paranoid, Delusions, or Midnight Recovery. Let's take Midnight Recovery and Straight Sleep Ruffian. Alright, so 2 packs in, and we already have a pretty, like, good deck. We're looking for, a couple more upgrades. We're looking for a couple more cards to finish things up. And then we're looking for more things to, Gyre Sage. Not a lot for us in this pack. Wow, no white cards at all, and the red cards are just not very powerful. The winner in this pack, by far, is Simic. Check this out. So, Simic in here has Sapphire Drake, Wasteland Viper, Hands of Binding, Elusive Krasis, Gyre Sage, Green Side Watcher, Death Cult Rogue, all of which are just like, yeah, these are good cards. We've got, like, an Armored Transport. I'm making some kind of motions. I literally think this is an Armored Transport pick. Yeah, we will play the Plains. That's a lot more likely of a pick. I will give this to Beckett Apparition. Its power in this set is a lot more on Court Street Denizen, like being able to activate that at instant speed. I don't want any more Armored Transports, any more than that, and I'm too heavy into it. Shamble Shark, hey, how you doing? Smite, which is a card you might remember. Wow, Experiment 1. Simic player's gonna have a good time, I feel. But yeah, Warmind Infantry, I feel like, is another good 3. We could pick up a Boros Guildgate if I wanted to really, like, if I actually wanted to pick up some fixing. But we also do have a pretty easy battalion going on. Love you, Shamble Shark. Basically, this is between Warmind Infantry and Boros Guildgate. As far as picks go, how many 3s do I really want? Isn't that always the question? Abyss Hunted, we first picked Boros Reckoner, and then we got Assemble the Legion. You tell me what we are. Smite's removal. Ooh, what are you? You are the... Oh, okay. So you attack as a 6/3 and you block as a 3/6. I wish that was better. Armored Transport is the next card. Like, I'm thinking here, Basilica Guards isn't a card that fits our plan at all. Fortress Cyclops is just a 6/3 for... I don't like that. Like, yeah, I don't like this at all. Like, even blocking, this is a better card. It has evasion. We don't care about these. Like, I guess it's... Check out this horrible, horrible card. This card costs 5. Did you know the Undercity Connections, the Phyrexian Arena, is in this set? Or in this block, sorry. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, let's take a flyer that I feel okay about. Wow, I could pick Debtor's Pulpit up. This is expensive, but still okay. I can also, this could just be the time to pick up Boros Guildgate, because there's nothing else really going in against things. Like, there's nothing else compared. Like, it's Debtor's Pulpit versus the Boros Guildgate. Shrug. I think this finally might be the time to pick up a single Guildgate. Well, Reckoner, like, gets cast off of any lands, like, in our deck. Like, this doesn't actually fix for Reckoner at all. I'm gonna go with the Guildgate. Ooh, Burning Tree Emissary. I'm kind of thinking that just as a free 2 mana. Wow, Mind Grind still hanging out here? Whoa, this is kind of a nuts card for the, a very silly card for the Dimir player. Like, if you go ahead and get this going well, I don't know, what does Burning Tree Emissary cast for us on 2? Not a lot. Massive Raid and Ripscale Predator, other choices. Massive Raid gets a lot better with Assemble the Legion. I don't know, I don't feel like Burning Tree Emissary is something we can take a lot of advantage of. Like, on 2, we don't have many 2s to play. And on 3 it's a lot better. I'm going to go ahead and take some removal, though. Wow, more Armored Transports. That's really all we have access to. Pack 3's been very bad for us. Just as far as, like, comparatively to the other packs. I'm feeling heavily cut in what I'm doing. Another Armored Transport versus, like, a 10th Street Market and Larry. Frenzied Tilling is not a card I really care about. Illness in the Ranks, card that doesn't do jack in this format. I don't know, I guess I'll take another Armored Transport. I don't know how many of these I actually want to play. Yeah, it's a very good thing that our deck was complete before we got to this point. Alright, Skinbrand Goblin. I'm happy to have another one of these. I want some more early drops. What? Hate Illness in the Ranks because of Assemble the Legion? No way. Illness in the Ranks is the enchantment and owns us the entirety of when it's in play. Which I'm sure you've already heard like 2 or 3 times by the time you hear my voice saying that. Bomber Corps, let's get some more 2s in here. That'll be fine. I don't want the Guildgate. I don't know, I'm not really set on like how cool Bomber Corps is. Like, it's a Squire, but we should be able to make good use of it. Like, we have a lot of Armored Transports to be able to trigger it. Towering Thunderfist, sure. Wow, Hands of Binding still hanging out here. I'll take another Foundry Street Dungeon. It feels like this might be a good place to be. Creatures you control get +1/+0 each gate you control and have Vigilance. No dice. Sure, we already have a Shattering Blow for the board. Let's reach a target. Naturalize, Bio shift, Alright, so let's get into the deck building portion of this. We have a couple cards that I'm really happy about, a number of cards that I'm, like, reasonably happy about, and then, like, our deck sort of tapers off around 18. Yeah, our card tree Denzins don't have a lot of triggers, you are right. Today is not the day for Larry. Maybe another day. But not right now. Oh, thank you for putting those in my collection and taking me out of the draft. That's very kind of you, Magic Online. Okay, jeez, we have 7 cards to cut. So right out the gate, Riot Gear is something I'm fine cutting. Towering Thunder Fist is something I'm probably fine cutting twice. Probably okay cutting this Righteous Charge, Armored Transport number 3. And maybe like a Boros Keyrune, perhaps. I don't know how great this is for us. It's fixing, but like we don't have a ton of ways to make this real other than it being like a 1/1 double strike just hanging out in the pocket, which I guess is just fine. Night Watch also could go. Court Street Denzins, you're right, don't have a lot of ways to trigger. Like, there's not a lot of ways to trigger these, but the ones we do have, Assemble the Legion, is a really backbreaking way to trigger it. I'm thinking these, and then our Foundry Street Denzins should be doing pretty good, because a lot of our creatures are red. Like, we have a really heavy red deck. So these should be attacking for 2 a lot of the time. It does play well with Martial Glory, right, which we have 2 copies of, and I'm probably including both. Because really they're our only trick. Like, these are our only trick, and this is our only removal. So let me tell you, if I guess this is as well, and Boros Rares can kind of play that. If we lose, it's because we have no removal. That's certainly... Let's go ahead and remove these. That's fine to get rid of. I could cut down to 1 transport if I wanted to. Transport plays alright. I still haven't cut the Keyrune. Night Watch, maybe. Night Watch is good with the Court Street Denzins. Is another way to just double trigger and just go to town, tap our opponent's team. Guardian of the Gateless I'm fine with as a flyer, which we only have 2 of in the deck. And Guardian of the Gateless can play like Hyper Defense if the need somehow arises. Massive Raid's good. Massive Raid's quite good because of this. Also, Massive Raid can go to the Dome. Like, Massive Raid can go, and with Assemble the Legion, like, there's games where we might just hit our opponent for 6 with this or something. It's Lava X sometimes. I only actually need 1 more cut after the Boros Keyrune. Huh. Like one of the Foundry Street Denzins? Foundry Street Denzin also plays really well with the Assemble the Legion. Let's commit to that. We got some time. Let's take a look. Okay. You. Okay, we actually have enough. Like, Court Street Denzin has enough triggers in here. So I don't feel too bad about those. They're quite powerful. There's more than it looks, so... how badly do we want... Actually, let's ask that question. How badly do we want Battalion? Bomber Corps... And I think there's a Wodrek Halberdiers here, and those are their Battalion cards? Yeah. So the big thing here is that... So these 3 cards... Without Battalion, they function just fine. This is Hurloon Minotaur, and this is a 3-2 for 2 without Battalion. So, A+. This card's Squire. This card is actually Squire without Battalion. Which is what I think we in the business call bad. This could just get cut because my 3 curve is a little too high. Like, look at this. Like, there's, what, 9 cards here? Yeah, 9 cards here. Maybe that's the real big thing, is that I don't want to have that many cards at 3. Armor Transport's fun. Armor Transport's good. It's just, and it's funny when you have multiple of them, and it's just like, here comes the trucks. So we have, our spells in the deck are literally these. These are our spells. These 5, if I purchase separately. And so we have Combat Trick, Secretly Creatures, and a Massive Raid. That's it. So this should be quite interesting. This looks like a 9-7 or maybe even a 10-6 split. We only ever need 1 white mana in order to function, but the white mana we do need is pretty nice to have. Let's go ahead and sort by color to see what that looks like. Yeah, so white mana. Yeah, we do have these combat tricks as well. We have creatures that are also combat tricks hanging out. So, yeah. Then Reckoner can be cast off of triple red. This can be cast off of 3 lands, and it's one of our most powerful things we have access to. Extremely, even if they go to, like, bust it with damage, they get blasted back. Like, everything works well for it. So I'm looking at a 10-8 or a 9-7 split, and the thing here, the big question is how important is our white? And we have some pretty early drops that are quite important between Sky Knight Legionnaire, Syndicate Tithes, and Wojak Halberdiers. These are ones I want to have pretty early. And we have a Boros Guildgate. If I go 9-7, that's technically 10-8 with the Guildgate, and then I would feel okay with that. If I go 10-6, that's 11-7. I feel like that's a little light on the white mana. I'm going to guess that this is going to tell me to go... No, it actually agrees with my assessment of the 9-7. That's good. Or is that good? Ooh. On our sideboard, we have Glaring Spotlight, which I guess this could be a sideboard card for the final line of text here. Creatures you control gain hexproof until the end of turn and can't be blocked. So, if we want a Alpha Strike card, I can put that in. We also have Shattering Blow, Aerial Maneuver, Righteous Charge, and some Bigmen on our sideboard, if that's a sideboard plan we need. Depending on the matchup, well, who knows? Anyway, exciting. We are in the Boros zone. I'm pretty happy about this. Like, obviously, the deck could function a little better as something like more Sky Knight Legionnaires, Wojak Halberdiers, or the Daring Skyjacks we saw earlier. Yeah, the fact that this is unblockable is hidden between 7 lines of text, or after 6 lines, you know? The Hexproof thingy, this is a card designed to hate on, like, Invisible Stalker, that sort of thing. Geist of Saint Traft. I'm gonna hit submit here. Let's get moving. Taking up enough time. Just talk. Yeah, Magic Player 298 234. Seriously, I wonder either that is their DCI number or they were born in the year 19,298, 19,298,234, which is like Connor of the Pier, who interesting, has a Goblin Welder as their deal. Is this pushed out even further? Oh, come on. I thought this was like a little further to the... Oh, hey, yes, A+, look at this. Curve, curve, curve. I'm in. Let's rock it. Opponent's Gruul. Ooh, maybe not. Maybe they are Boros. Oh, there's Daring Skyjack. So let's go ahead and play the Bomber Core, which will get us our trigger, and we attack for 2. Looks like our opponent might be more Boros than Gruul here. We'll see. Yeah, thinking Boros. Bomber Core is going to be good here. Kills off Daring Skyjack. Court Street Denizen does not trigger on itself. Ooh, mugging. Just flat get that out of there. Alright. Makes sense to me. Okay, Court Street Denizen could be good here. Court Street Denizen could be good and then followed up by Boros Reckoner and have Boros Reckoner on the defense. And also have, like, Court Street Denizen on the offense. That actually sounds like a fair place to be. Let's get this down. They used a mugging. Could also have left this back to try to block Daring Skyjack. What's your 4? I see what your splash is. Well played. Very interesting. So this card's incredibly strong. 4 mana, 4/4 trample with the Blood Rush for 2 to give +4/+4 trample. Now, luckily we're in play. Yep, we're gonna take some damage. That's fine. Okay, we are going to go ahead and play our Reckoner. Tap down a blocker and get in for 4. Okay, Boros Reckoner can block Daring Skyjack safely in multiple ways. The fact that I can first strike it down means that it can't attack. The fact that I can, like, kill it in combat, and if they use a trick, like, is fine. Like, Boros Reckoner is very hard for them to deal with outside of, like, white-based removal. I don't know. I don't think we're currently winning right now. We need something. Well, we need something that isn't the lands we are drawing at the moment. We need, honestly, like another Court Street Denizen would probably get us enough aggressive, like, push for lethal damage, or just something like ooh, what do we got? Okay, Assault Griffin. Well played. That's 10 in the air if you go in on me. Okay, holding back. That's good to see. Okay. Interesting. So Foundry Street Denizen can trigger other Foundry Street Denizen, which is good. I think Boros Reckoner in is safe. The question is how much of an attack is safe and how much is unsafe. Because I can't block most of this damage coming in. Like, there's 10 points and I can't block any. It's maybe worth it, but not for, like, this one. It's worth playing this Denizen because that's more... It's a bit wider. It'd be worth trying to stockpile these if we could, but we don't have any of those. Question is, what are the attacks here? And how much damage can they hit me back for? I'm a bit scared that a lethal attack could be coming my direction. That's the thing that currently has me a bit worried. And that might mean I just play Skinbrand Goblin. Post-combat? I think they're all safe attacks, honestly. It's all about how much damage I think I'm taking back. If they have the pig, that could be lethal. Let's go in. I have a feeling we're going to die to a blood rush. Like, our opponent's going to take this hit, no blockers, and then we're going to die to a blood rush. Oh, okay. Well, good. I'll take this trade. I was not expecting that one. Okay, good, good. Because, like, the pig blood rush or the +5/+1 blood rush would kill us from there. Now their Daring Skyjack doesn't fly, so, like, I can just trade my 1-drop for it. They're also, like, this Reckoner is going to be a very lethal threat very soon. Because soon it just can't be blocked. Okay, Assault Griffin in for 3 makes a lot of sense. No, they have a third creature. Is it a big one? Ooh, it's the Menacer. Okay. Ooh, massive raid, huh? I have lethal here. Interesting. I have a lethal block, of all things. Ooh, that's good. Yeah. Well, sort of. This is really odd. So, here's what I'm thinking, because they could play around it, too. So the Boros Reckoner, if it is dealt any damage, you know, it gets blasted back at their face. I could just use this massive raid to kill off, like, Daring Skyjack and attack in for 3. That wouldn't be bad. Today's going pretty good. I'm currently considering a bunch of different lines right now with this massive raid top deck. Killing Assault Griffin actually might be a pretty powerful one, because that would leave back a lot of options for my opponent. Ripscale Predator, Ripscale Predator. If I kill Assault Griffin, my opponent can't fly the Daring Skyjack anymore. If I kill the Daring Skyjack, I can attack in and get in for 4. Boros Reckoner's unblockable there, because they would die. And if I block with... And if I try to, like, kill the Ripscale Predator, that doesn't really go over so well. Maybe I keep this massive raid as a trick. That might be fine. And then, like, double block with Foundry Street Denizen, something like that. If he blocks the Boros Reckoner, he loses the game. Because either loses his Daring Skyjack for free, or the Ripscale Predator deals 6. And let's attack with the Boros Reckoner and leave these back as, like, a double block on the Predator. I think that's the most plan. We have a massive raid in the pocket. So let's see how this plays out first. Boros Reckoner is a hell of a card, is what I've got to say here. Yeah, no blocks. Okay. Ooh. Aerial maneuver. Okay, so there's 2 lines here. This is really weird. So the 2 lines are, I can kill Assault Griffin before combat. If I kill Assault Griffin before combat, Daring Skyjack can't attack. Or you can't attack, it won't have flying. In that instance, like, Daring Skyjack won't have flying, and I won't take, and I'll only take 7 from the Ripscale. If, however, I choose to wait on this, wait for him to all-out attack, I can kill the Daring Skyjack after after attacks are declared, I will take 10 in the air, but have a lethal threat back, depending on what my opponent's final card in hand is. If it's a creature or a Blood Rush thing, I lose. I think this might mean that killing Assault Griffin right now is the correct play. What could make that backfire? There's certainly cards that can make that backfire. I think the biggest thing is I'd want to do this pre-comp... Oh, man. Basically, it's do I believe that my opponent's card in hand is a land or nothing, or, like, something with this play. Alright, anyway, this resolves. So here's the point of contention. Do I kill it now, or... Yeah, I know that going to 1 is risky, but, like, it allows me to win the game if I choose that route. If I choose a different route, if I kill the Assault Griffin now, I'm leaving myself a little open to... If they have Blood Rush, I can't win this game. There's no point in trying to play around a Blood Rush. Because they just Blood Rush onto Ripscale Predator and I lose. Like, obviously. Pretty obviously. I'm going to go for the exciting line. And by exciting line, I mean the one that should win me the game next turn. There's a lot of things that blow me out here. So Daring Skyjet gets flagged. So let's go ahead and Massive Raid. Need that card in my opponent's hand to be nothing right now. That's what I'm playing to. I'm playing to win. And going to 1 is part of that plan. Okay, they did have the Blood Rush in hand. It's not enough to save their guy, but it's enough to deal lethal damage to me. Okay. And that will get me. Yeah, first strike, normal strike. Gotta play to my outs, which in this case was that I was a bit slower here and needed some way to steal the game rather than play out to it. No. I cannot win that game if it's hunted. That is why I did it this way. We're dead in every scenario. There's a reason I guess I didn't talk out my lines as much as I thought I did. I even spent like 10 minutes on it. Shit. Anyway, I was playing to the win there because I needed my opponent's hand to contain no relevant cards in order to win in basically any case. Any changes I want to make? Aerial Maneuver actually might be a realistic change in this matchup. Our opponent has a decent chunk of evasion, and that gives us something to get, like, things going with. Is that better or worse than a Martial Glory? Martial Glory is a lot of damage, and it's just flat win a combat. Maybe I just don't worry about that and try to be a more front foot play, like, because I'll be on the play. Our Aerial Maneuver is the only card I'm considering here, and, like, if that's better than, like, say, Night Watch, or, like, Guardian of the Gateless is really good here. No, don't. Fat Swordsman, that is an overreaction to the game we just played. If I remove a land from this deck, we will never draw land 3. Our curve is not low enough for me to consider a 16 lander yet. If we had less 3 drops, I would, but not with this curve. Yeah, Aerial Maneuver is the only card I'm considering. Riot Gear, not really. Again, Riot Gear only really functions well if we're in a flooded scenario, and like, I'll go with this. I'm gonna try that out. Would you like to play first? Absolutely. I don't see white, but I see some pretty good cards. I'm willing to keep this. The white we only need 1 of, and we're not holding white cards at the moment, which I'm sure is going to backfire spectacularly on us. Opponent kept theirs. That's fine. They have a 1? No. Alright, let's go ahead and get out a Bomber. Happy to have Cinder Elemental. That card's pretty good. With that in mind, I'm actually going to play the Warmind Infantry. Because if I draw a white source, then I can immediately turn on my my battalion, just out of nowhere. That's the real power of the Sky Knight Legionnaire, by the way, is the ability to turn on battalion for freaking nothing. Okay, if they have their own Sky Knight Legionnaire, we'll look the fool. Armored Transport it is. Let's get in there. Armored Transport gives our battalion on as well, so can't block alone. Can't attack alone either. The blocking is obviously the more relevant portion of that at the moment. Oof, mugging on my... Alright. Oh no, my Armored Transport got mugged. Oh dear. Now, the question is, do I want to play this Skin Brand Goblin or not? I don't know if it's more valuable on the board or not, like getting the Bomber Core going. If my opponent has more removal like that, then I won't have my Warmind Infantry active. Then again, Skinbrand Goblin in the hand lets my Warmind Infantry just... Okay, I'm going to hold it. Opponent doesn't have much for drops. They've passed on 3 mana up on the last turn. We really need to take advantage of this, but I'm not really able to, which is a bit of a shame. We've drawn both of our most powerful white cards in the early game in our deck that I mentioned. Wonder what this will be. Wow, it's Zerichi Tiger of all things. Not a very strong card. Alright, we guess we get to play Foundry Street Dungeon. Okay, I feel like this is fine because I'm just going to go ahead and ping the Ember Beast, which means it'll trade with any creature that blocks. And I can try to use Skinbrand Goblin to keep things alive. My opponent has to double block around. Like, they can't just block with Ember Beast. They have to block with Zerichi Tiger and Ember Beast. They might have a Smite for me. That would be a bit awkward. Yeah, let's just go ahead and make our attacks and see what happens. I'm definitely going to ping the Ember Beast, though, because if I don't ping the Ember Beast has a free block on Bomber Core. I don't want that. Yeah, we play Smite or no Smite. I kind of have to assume that it's no Smite at the moment. We don't have the ability to really play around it, so I'm going to choose to ignore it. Zerichi Tiger, though. Our opponent's reaching pretty deep for that. That's not a card I find playable in most circumstances. You're getting a 2/3 for 4 and a very poor ability on it most of the time. Okay, those are the blocks that make a lot of sense. What I will do here, I think, is I could kill the Zarichi Tiger, or I could kill the Ember Beast. I can't kill both. If I kill Zarichi Tiger, the Ember Beast might be useless next turn. If I kill the Ember Beast, the Zarichi Tiger will block every single Foundry Street Denzin I control for the rest of eternity. Hard choices, aren't they? Well, and I've got 4 damage with the War Mind. You have Smite? If you have Smite, you make me look real bad right now. Oh, it was Smite. Okay. I think with that, we're just hosed. Like, flat. I don't see us finding much of a way back into the game very quickly here. We need a white source for Sky Knight Legionnaire if we want to be able to even compete in this game. So no blocks were no tricks were correct, no attacks were correct there. Debtor's Pulpit. Okay, we are going to be locked out of this game very quickly. Interesting. That's actually pretty good for us in the sense that I might be able to get in some damage now if they're going... I don't like them going offense here. I feel like that's a little premature on their part, though they're not going to get punished much for it. Because they shouldn't be taking this damage they're taking, but they are taking some damage. Yeah, I don't like the attack there. They're way too they're way too close to death for that. I realize they can use the Zarichi Tiger to heal up or something, but and we have Cinder Elemental, and maybe Cinder Elemental can get us out of here. We'll see. Oh. I see. Okay, we got warring Cinder Elementals. That makes sense. No attacks? You got actual attacks? I can't block with Cinder Elemental. Your attacks are free. You'd hit me for 5. It'd be pretty good. I would actually love it if my opponent attacked me for 5 here again. Okay, they realized that last turn they were reaching a little bit and that they should not have made that attack. So Cinder Elemental actually is probably going to demand my Cinder Elemental, which I feel is kind of the nail in a coffin here. We can't even play Bomber Corps if I go for that play. Because I can't let that Cinder Elemental stick around. And Warmind Infantry still can't attack. If and Zarichi Tiger gains them life back. Guess I could kill Zarichi Tiger. Yeah, Cinder Elemental is an old reprint. You are correct. No planes. Sky Knight Legionnaire wouldn't actually do too much for us because it would just get tapped by the Debtor's Pulpit. They can Fireball for 6 right now. I feel like I have to Cinder Elemental the Cinder Elemental in order to not lose the game here. But then it's where am I winning from that? Let's see where that goes. So I guess like a Marshal could save here. Okay. So they get to heal up, which is good for them. Let's go ahead and pass again. There's Daring Skyjack. How you doing? I believe that means we're dead in 2. Ooh, and a Skinbrand Goblin. Are they going to make attacks? No, they've realized that they need to wait on that sort of thing. And we are going to lose to our mana base. On top of the smite, which actually is what knocked us out of this game, rather than our mana base. As poor as the Zerichi Tiger is, as far as a body goes, it being a body was literally all that mattered for that Ember Beast to get into combat. So they can attack with Daring Skyjack. They can attack with... I'm going to kill that Skinbrand Goblin for coming in. Yeah, okay. So Founder Shoot Denzin on the block. Oh, boy. All right. And we're not even getting to combat here, and then we're going to take 8 from the backswing. I did talk about that at the beginning, how our interaction was extremely limited. We got our white source. It's finally here. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's go to 1. Oh, well. Yeah, because the ability to use Bomber Core on this Daring Skyjack would probably turn this around. That makes sense. Actually, that doesn't make sense. I pass this off to you. That's actually the only tap that doesn't make any sense. Because if you now, like... Okay. Because now you have to Debtor's Pulpit to, like, prevent me from... Okay, which you're gonna do, but... Still, that's a bit of a weird one. Anyway, obvious block, which was way too late for us to be able to win from here. And we can take him down. Okay. That's fine to see that we got beat by a deck with just slightly more interaction than us, but slightly more is enough to absolutely crush us. That's good. Alright, I ain't done, though, today. I went into this today knowing that I was going to do 2 of these today. So we're going to go ahead and do a second one of these in just a moment here. I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream down. And just because I want to shift on over, so we'll be right back. And I'm going to go ahead and probably wrangle in Gnome here, because now that Gnome's back. So I will catch you all in about 5 minutes, let's say. So let's take 5, we'll regroup and see if we can come up with a different plan for this format. Maybe something a little more our speed, or maybe something a little more interactive with our opponent.